And we are live. Welcome into the final show of the week. Narratives, interview reactions, final thoughts for this week's Memorial Tournament from Jack's Place, Columbus, Ohio. It's going to be a fun tournament this week, one more week, then another major. It's kind of like I'm so excited for this tournament. Next week, I'm like, what? I'm not even thinking about next week. I was talking to Brian today, and I was like, yeah, I like Cantlay next week. He was like, Canadian? He's not playing Canadian. I'm like, oh shit. US Open. I like him at LACC. But yeah, so we got one more week, like one more really fun week, one more blah week, and then we're back to a major. But this is a super fun tournament. So we got some interviews and narratives to break down, final thoughts before we head in to tee off tomorrow morning. So this wasn't the most interesting week of interviews, but there's a few stuff that, especially Jason Day, which I'll get to. But John Rahm, they asked him why he's a good fit for this golf course, and I thought it was interesting what he had to say. He said that it was a golf course that you needed to learn to play, which kind of checks out. A lot of guys don't really have their best showings in their debut here, and he called it target golf, which I thought was really weird because when you think target golf, you think Hideki Matsuyama at like easy Texas golf courses where he's just firing at flags and they're just stopping exactly where it lands. But he said it's target golf. You have to hit certain spots on the fairway, play the proper size to give you the best angles into the green, and all the par threes are difficult. I understand what he's saying, but I wouldn't call it target golf. I no, my feelings aren't changing about John Rahm. I just kind of wanted to go through and state what he said about the golf course. So that's John Rahm. Jack Nicklaus had some very interesting things to say. Ever heard of him? So Jack Nicklaus, he stated that they hadn't had any rain here for about 10 days. He thinks the forecast is showing there's going to be no rain. We never have that at this time of year in Columbus. So with that being said, the golf course should play super firm, super fast, faster than it normally does. I'm thinking like a minus 10 winning score, something in that range, which is a lot of fun. That brings out the best players. That's a major winning score. That brings out the number 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5 players in the world. So we should have someone from the top of the leaderboard be in the winner's circle, shaking Jack's hand come Sunday. So that just made me think that it's going to play even more difficult than we already thought. They also talked about the 17th hole. Jack stated how the only real new thing on this course compared to last year is the 17th hole. Um, he said he didn't like how they put bunkers around the 320 range and guys were still flying them and having flip wedges into the 17th green. They added that they pushed the tee box about 20 yards further, so guys can't really carry those bunkers anymore, giving them about 160 into that 17th green. So that's going to change the dynamic of the hole for sure. Just thought that was an interesting nugget on the golf course because we know that the golf course took a lot of changes the years prior to last year, so not too much changes for this year except for that 17th hole. Patrick Cantlay, Memorial's own, one of his favorite golf courses, he said it should be a hard test. He again stated that no rain, which we usually do get rain, so the course should play firm and fast, kind of stating that it's going to play a lot harder than the guys are usually used to. So maybe that won't bring the normal course horses up to the top of the leaderboard. Just something to think about. Like Patrick Cantlay, no matter what golf course he's on, is going to play well at this point of the season. The ball striking numbers are just astronomically through the roof. So I don't have any Patrick Cantlay liability. Fading it. If you know me, I love Patrick Cantlay. I'll be on him next week, but it hurts to not have any Patrick Cantlay. But that's how it worked out this week. All right, I got a few more guys to talk about, but let's skip to Jason Day. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that tweet. I think it was Underdog Golf tweeted it. Let me pull it up real quick. And he didn't have an interview. It was a very subtle tweet. Give me a second. Let me pull up this tweet because I want to read it like word for word. Underdog Golf. Let's see. Okay, I found it. Underdog Golf tweeted, Jason Day, he's now dealing with a wrist injury that he believes is a bone bruise that wouldn't keep him from playing from the weekend. Asked what would sideline him from Murrayfield Village, and Day replied, not to be able to hit the ball. I'm going to do everything I can to play. Okay, alert signals, eye emojis, whatever you want to say. I'm out on Jason Day. I bet him at 35-1, and I just cannot back a Jason Day who's outwardly saying he doesn't, even though he was going to play here, he's dealing with a bone bruise in his wrist. I cannot think of any time besides Colin Morikawa Open Championship, irons aren't interacting with the ground, where golfers said he doesn't, something's wrong, and they went on to like play well. These interviews are done for a reason, and they help us for a reason as handicappers, as bettors, as DFS players. Jason Day is dealing with something, especially on a golf course he hasn't really done well on. And I bet him at a golf course that he hasn't done well on. I was like, all right, this is the best form he's ever had heading into his home track. It's a little different this year. He just won. He should be feeling all right. He's got those week and a half off. And now he's dealing with an injury. So I had Jason Day 35 to 1 in, cashed it out. So I will update my card over at Jersey Betting following this video. And I don't know, I'll probably go with some bombs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do at this point, but Jason Day, I am out on after this. Out on. I'm going to check what his ownership is at. So Jason Day, and maybe give you a pivot. All right. Jason Day at this moment is 8% owned. Honestly, I wouldn't hate you for playing at 8% owned Jason Day, but I'd probably go down to Sung JM because Sung J burned a few guys the last 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks ago. People don't want to play him because he's just kind of been boring after that really good run he had. I would pivot down to Sung JM, but I can't back Jason Day after those comments. I truly can't. So we will move down. And I didn't love it to begin with. That's going to get me off it. So if it comes back to bite me, this show has done more better things than it has done worse things for me with these late switches. So Jason Day, I'm out on. Okay, 2 more guys to talk about and we'll wrap it up. Quicker show tonight. Billy Horschel, 100% out on. He said, yeah, I'm getting closer. I finally feel an upward trajectory. I would say I'm about a 6 out of 10 comfortable with my swing. My driving is horrendous. I'm playing from spots I've never played before in my career. He's simply just lost, and that's been showing in his form. Billy Horschel is just, we know Billy Horschel's that golfer who's just like Patrick Reed, just good for that 1 win a year. He finds it. He's got 8 wins, I believe. But T40, cut, 52nd. His best stroke play finish, I'm not even going to count the Hero World Challenge. He was a T7. His last top 10 was a T7 at the CJ Cup in October. Is that October? 10 is October, right? I think so. In October. 10/23. Yeah, I was acting crazy for a second. His last top 10 was in October at the CJ Cup. He says he's a 6 out of 10. He's obviously the defending championship. We'll give him a little bit of a boost in the pricing, maybe the ownership, but I don't know how you can play Billy Horschel at this point. Let's see what he's coming in at this point in the afternoon, in the night. Billy Horschel coming in at, 3%. I still don't think you should play. I mean, like, you can say, oh, play this 3% golfer. I don't think you should play Billy Horschel. I don't think he's really sneaking up with anyone. He says he's a 6 out of 10. I'll take the chance not playing a 3% Billy Horschel. At a golf course, he's had success at, surely, but he says he's a 6 out of 10. If you're not, and he's especially with a driver, and this is a golf course, you can be a little bit wide, but if you're really wide, you're in some trouble. So Billy Horschel, I am out on. And then finally, Rory McIlroy. Just asked him, how does the swing feel after Oak Hill? Because Rory outwardly said, this is like the least comfortable I felt over a golf ball in a long, long time. So everybody said word for word, yeah, much better. I can't remember a time where I felt so uncomfortable over the ball for 4 days. So I needed to go back home and work on some things. And yeah, feeling a lot better about it. Not fighting the club face quite as much, feeling a bit more free, which is obviously a nice feeling. I'm in on Rory McIlroy, especially he's saying good things and he's still going under the radar. Just Rory, you got to show up with that fuck you mentality. That's when you're at your best. I'm all the way on Rory McIlroy. Play him in your lineups. Bet him at 15, 16 to 1 if you can find it. And let's roll. Any late questions, you know where to find me. I'm going to put out that updated betting card over at Jersey Betting within the next probably 30 minutes. So I will get to that. And yeah, that about does it. I'll be back Friday night potentially or Saturday morning with that weekend leaderboard, traveling back to New Jersey for the first time since December. So I'm excited. If you're over on the Jersey Shore this weekend, hit me up. So I will catch you guys this weekend. Good luck. Enjoy the first round leader sweats if you got any. Early morning, 7 a.m., I believe. So we'll catch you guys this weekend.